The Grand Canyon is an amazing natural wonder that can be seen right in the middle of Arizona. Stories have been etched into the walls of the canyon, whose formations are thought to be older than 6 million years. But may one of those tales hint at the presence of prehistoric extraterrestrials? On this alien presence idea, there are several levels of skepticism and acceptance. Some have discovered geological, ethnographic, and scientific evidence, while others contest its applicability. In spite of all the hypotheses, it's still possible that aliens visited Earth in the Grand Canyons millions of years ago. The Grand Canyon was first discovered in 1540 by a Spanish traveler named Garcia López de Cardenas. But for more than 10,000 years, the canyon has been the home of historic Native American tribes. These tribes, including the Pueblo and the Havasupai, have legends regarding how the canyon was formed. They think the canyon has a special meaning for them since their forefathers are said to have emerged from its depths. Could the canyon, however, potentially be linked to an extraterrestrial species? The idea that ancient astronauts once visited Earth and had a significant impact on human culture is known as the ancient astronaut theory. One such location is said to have evidence of extraterrestrial life, the Grand Canyon. It begs the issue of whether a sophisticated extraterrestrial civilization or a natural process produced the canyon. There are many reasons to believe in ancient aliens. Ancient aliens did certainly visit Earth millions of years ago, according to geological, cultural, and scientific evidence. We shall examine the proof for this idea in the parts that follow. Many history and geology buffs have the Grand Canyon on their bucket lists because it has long been shrouded in mystery. Some claim that the canyon itself is proof of extraterrestrial life. In addition to being a magnificent natural wonder, the Grand Canyon could contain proof that ancient aliens once visited Earth millions of years ago. This article will examine the geological, ethnographic, and scientific evidence for the existence of ancient aliens and present evidence in support of this claim. Geological evidence indicates that the Colorado River, which slowly eroded the rock strata over millions of years, created the Grand Canyon. The fact that the canyon's upper strata are younger than its bottom layers, however, is noteworthy. The layer mystery brings up a number of issues, such as how the lowest layers of the canyon evolved before the top levels. Although a catastrophic event might account for the age discrepancy between the strata, most scientists think that a continuous erosion process is more likely to be responsible. The upkeep of the canyon's water system is responsible for the second indication of alien presence. Despite the Grand Canyon's enormous size, the Colorado River that flows through it is unable to keep water levels stable. The Grand Canyon's capacity to transport water out cannot be explained by the Colorado River's flow rate into the canyon. Many people think that long ago extraterrestrials constructed dams and canals to direct water from other rivers into the canyon. The time gap idea serves as the third piece of evidence. The canyon's oldest layers are at or near 2 billion years old, while its youngest layers are at or near 300 million years old. Where the missing layer went is the question that this idea raises. There is no continuous deposition of rock strata in the canyon's geological layers. Some theorize that these missing layers might have been created by a massive catastrophe, such as an asteroid or comet collision. This hypothesis hasn't been validated yet, though. These three pieces of evidence do offer some specific proof that extraterrestrial life may exist. However, the reader's perception is always up to them. We shall examine the ethnographic evidence in the section after this. The prehistoric cave paintings discovered in the Grand Canyon and its surroundings are the first piece of proof. Unnatural beings with oversized heads and almond-shaped eyes are shown in the cave paintings. Aliens were also portrayed by the Sumerian civilization in their artwork. These artworks' fascinating feature is that they match how aliens are portrayed in contemporary popular culture. Mythology and prehistoric Sumerian writings provide the second piece of ethnographic evidence. There are legends about gods and goddesses that originated in the stars from several ancient civilizations, including the Sumerians. In addition, a lot of these tales include in-depth accounts of extraterrestrial interactions with people. These legends have permeated our society for millennia and only serve to increase the likelihood that extraterrestrial life exists. The last piece of evidence in the ethnographic section is the canyon's architectural connection. Some speculate that ancient aliens helped humans design and build several structures in the Grand Canyon. The civilization may have built systems of underground tunnels and chambers to use for their purposes, like shelter and storage. Moreover, the structures in the canyon are similar in design to those found in other ancient civilizations, raising the possibility of a connection. As we can see, the ethnographic proof provides solid support for the possibility of ancient alien existence. In the next section, we will cover scientific proof. The first piece of scientific evidence that supports the notion of alien life is the alien-like skulls found in Mexico. Several skulls have been found with elongated heads like those depicted in pop culture. Some believe that these skulls are evidence of ancient aliens' existence, whereas others believe that they are a result of cranial deformation or a rare medical anomaly. The second piece of scientific proof comes from the Kingman UFO incident of 1953. The Kingman incident involved the discovery of a craft by two police officers. A metallurgist, Dr. Leo Sprinkle, analyzed the material on the UFO and found it to be of extraterrestrial origin. Moreover, Sprinkle discovered that the metal contained a unique isotope. This is a clear indication of alien activity. The last piece of scientific evidence supporting alien life is from the Mormon Pioneers Journal. The journal tells the story of an encounter with beings from another world in the Grand Canyon. This is another example where the evidence is consistent with the idea that ancient aliens visited the Earth millions of years ago. Many skeptics reject the notion that there were ancient aliens, despite the evidence to the contrary. In the scientific world, there is continuous discussion over the idea of ancient aliens. Some people reject the hypothesis and think that mankind built the Grand Canyon and the buildings inside of it. The ancient alien theory's dependence on other cultures is one of its main weaknesses. Since each culture depicts aliens differently, the hypothesis is mostly reliant on images and interpretations from other civilizations. Furthermore, it is challenging for scientists to have a meaningful discussion on extraterrestrial life because of the negative connotations associated with the word alien. The evidence for alien life visiting Earth millions of years ago is substantial. Many hypotheses and pieces of evidence support the ancient alien theory, lending credence to the finding of ancient extraterrestrial life. However, the concept continues to divide the scientific world, and disputes will go on. The Grand Canyon is a unique enigma in geology and history, and it has retained its mystique throughout human history. Who knows what future discoveries the Grand Canyon will yield? For the time being, we can only conjecture and appreciate its beauty. The Grand Canyon, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, is a sight to behold. But did you know that it might also hold the key to unlocking one of the biggest mysteries of all time? Yes, that's right. There is a possibility that aliens might have visited Earth millions of years ago, and the evidence is hidden in the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon was first discovered in the 16th century by Spanish explorer Coronado. However, the native tribes of the region had been living around the canyon for thousands of years before that. The discovery of the canyon raised several questions about its formation and history, which led to various theories being proposed. There are people who believe in the existence of extraterrestrial life, and there are those who don't. The skeptics argue that the probability of aliens visiting Earth is almost zero, while the believers point out the evidence that supports the theory. The theory of ancient aliens suggests that extraterrestrial beings visited Earth in the distant past and played an important role in shaping human history. The Grand Canyon, with its unusual geological formations, might hold evidence of such extraterrestrial visits. One of the most intriguing pieces of evidence that supports the theory of ancient aliens in the Grand Canyon is the presence of ancient cave paintings. These paintings depict strange, humanoid figures with elongated heads and large eyes, which many believe could be depictions of alien beings. What's even more intriguing is that similar cave paintings have been found all over the world, suggesting that ancient humans might have had contact with extraterrestrial life. The existence of interesting myths and tales in several civilizations all over the world is another indicator that supports the idea of ancient aliens. For instance, the Sumerian culture, which flourished approximately 4000 BC, had legends about gods who descended from the sky in soaring craft. Similar tales of flying chariots and soaring battles may be found in Hindu mythology. These reports from all across the world may be alluding to the same thing, the possibility of extraterrestrial life. The Cave of the Domes and the Cheops Pyramid are just two examples of the numerous historic architectural marvels that can be found in the Grand Canyon. It is difficult to imagine that these buildings were built entirely by humans because of how precisely they were built. Some researchers hypothesize that alien technology may have played a role in making it feasible. Many people may find the idea of ancient aliens absurd, yet the evidence points to its potential plausibility. The Grand Canyon is full of hints that point to the likelihood of extraterrestrial encounters, whether they be the existence of old cave paintings, fascinating tales and stories, or architectural marvels. The theory of ancient aliens might be controversial, but it is worth exploring. As we continue to uncover more evidence, we might finally unlock the secrets of our past and find out the truth about our place in the universe. It might be a long shot, but it's definitely worth a try. Finally, we come to the section dedicated to scientific proof of the existence of aliens in the Grand Canyon. While skeptics may brush aside the previously discussed geological and ethnographic proofs, they may have a harder time arguing with some of the tangible evidence that has been found. Let's take a closer look. In 1999, a team of strange artifact collectors stumbled upon what would become known as the Starchild skull. They claim that they found the skull buried alongside a small body in a cave in Mexico. The skull is believed to be over 900 years old and was later confirmed to have only human DNA. Yes, you read that right, only human DNA. But, before you draw any hasty conclusions, this skull is unlike any human skull ever found. It's shaped differently and is much larger than any other human skull. Could it be that humans have evolved differently in the past or that aliens have interbred with humans? Make whatever conclusion you will, but there is no denying the eerie semblance to the alien beings we see in popular culture. According to a story in the Kingman Daily Miner, 2 civilians in the small town of Kingman in Arizona reported sighting a UFO on May 21, 1953. A Czech flight from Luke Air Force Base identified an unidentified flying object, which tracked above a mountain range and then landed near the town of Kingman. Scared out of their wits, 2 witnesses on the highway described seeing an object with a domed top and odd-shaped windows. They also noted landing gear and a clearly visible row of holes or circles on the bottom of the object. This official report is something that skeptics may have a hard time brushing off. The Mormon pioneers have indicated that they were not alone when they traversed the canyon. Their journal entries claim extraterrestrial sightings dating back to the 1850s and filling into the early 1900s. These accounts describe shiny objects in the skies, glowing orbs traveling at a low level, and even some notable landings and encounters with strange celestial beings. While all of this may sound like something out of a science fiction novel, these are claims that have been documented and verified through various sources. It is worth noting, however, that much of this evidence is circumstantial and, as such, remains open to interpretation. But here's the thing, skeptics have been denying the existence of aliens for decades, yet evidence keeps popping up. It is tempting to brush things off as fake news, but when you have tangible evidence, you can't help but question your beliefs. Perhaps it's time to accept that history is grander than we thought, and the Grand Canyon has just scratched the surface. Or maybe the human DNA in the Starchild skull is something much more profound than we ever imagined. A novel idea, for sure. Now that we have explored the geological, ethnographic, and scientific proofs that aliens may have visited Earth millions of years ago, it's important to recognize the controversy surrounding this theory. The ancient alien theory has gained a significant following in recent years, with many proponents arguing that it's the only plausible explanation for some of our world's most ancient mysteries. Some of the key arguments in support of the ancient alien theory include examining ancient cave paintings that seem to depict extraterrestrial life, mythology and Sumerian texts mentioning gods coming from the sky, and the connection between advanced ancient architecture and the idea of alien visitation. All of these points suggest that humans have long recognized the presence of intelligent, otherworldly life. Regardless, many individuals are suspicious about the old extraterrestrial notion. Some experts think that the hypothesis is just an enticing approach to filling information gaps about ancient societies and technologies. This viewpoint holds that humans are more than capable of accomplishing spectacular feats of building and engineering without the help of extraterrestrials. Another school of thought holds that the perception of extinct aliens is primarily cultural. Depending on one's background, they may be more or less likely to accept the theory. This is because our beliefs and worldviews are deeply influenced by our cultural and social surroundings. When it comes to ancient alien theory, this means that people who grow up in cultures with more open-mindedness towards extraterrestrial life may be more likely to believe in such theories. For others, however, the theory may simply seem far-fetched and unproven. The old extraterrestrial notion is controversial, but one thing is for sure, it has caught the interest of people all around the world. There is no disputing that the alien visitation notion has had a big role in contemporary popular culture, regardless of whether you are a staunch believer or skeptic. The future? Maybe one day we'll have concrete evidence that ancient aliens did, in fact, make contact with Earth millions of years ago. We can keep investigating the data and drawing our own conclusions up to that point. The possibility of ancient aliens visiting Earth millions of years ago may seem far-fetched to many, but the evidence found in the Grand Canyon suggests that it may not be as outlandish as it sounds. The geological, ethnographic, and scientific proofs all have merit and provide intriguing clues that cannot be ignored. However, the controversy surrounding ancient aliens will undoubtedly continue, and opposing beliefs and skepticism will persist. It is understandable that culture plays a significant role in shaping one's worldview, and the idea that our ancestors were visited by extraterrestrial beings clashes with many traditional beliefs. But staying open-minded and embracing the unknown is a crucial aspect of scientific inquiry and discovery. After all, the idea of ancient aliens may have seemed implausible only a few decades ago, but ever-increasing scientific advancements may one day present concrete evidence. What's next? The pursuit of knowledge and understanding is a never-ending journey, and the possibility of ancient aliens visiting Earth is just one of the many mysteries waiting to be unraveled. As scientific research continues and more evidence is gathered, it is likely that we will gain a better understanding of our past and our place in the universe. Perhaps one day we will finally have the answers to the questions that have plagued us for centuries. But until then, the only way to move forward is to continue exploring, questioning, and discovering. The idea of ancient aliens visiting Earth millions of years ago is a fascinating and contentious topic that deserves attention and consideration. While the evidence may not be definitive, it certainly presents an intriguing possibility that should not be ignored. As we continue to unravel the mysteries of the universe, who knows what astonishing discoveries await us in the future. That's it for today. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.